Boys, I understand it now. It's been 48 hours since I started the journey of documenting myself, learning dropshipping and going from 0 to 100K a month. There's so many things that I've learned in the last couple of hours, and I'm going to be documenting that with you guys and sharing that. In this video, there's going to be timestamps. If you guys want to skip around, feel free. And in a moment, I'm going to take you over to my computer screen and break down all the things that I learned. I went through a ton of hassles. Remember, I'm trying to learn this the best that I can for free. So there's a ton of bullshit things that I had to go through to learn. But I did find solutions for a lot of these things. So I'm gonna leave a timestamp if you want to skip around. But before I get into that, I want to share a little bit of mindset with you guys. If you give me just a few moments of your time, I think this is going to be the difference between successful dropshippers and the not so successful dropshippers. Look, a lot of this stuff isn't easy, bro. It really isn't. I've gone through a fair share of roadblocks and issues over the last couple of days. But I understand why a lot of people give up, because it's not easy. But that's exactly why you got to keep going, because if you think about it, most dropshippers fail in the very beginning stages because they can't get past the very basic things that you have to do regardless. So you'll see it in a moment, but I went through some website development issues, some sourcing issues, product market research issues, just a ton of problems. But I overcame a lot of them because I just didn't want to give up, bro. And I literally grinded the entire day, last couple of days, just hours in front of my computer screen, Googling, searching up things, contacting support. It was a big hassle, but I feel none the wiser, right? I feel way more accomplished, although I haven't made a single dollar yet. I feel more just confident in the process because I overcame all those problems. I feel more clarity than ever before, and you have to go through those hard times if you actually want to be successful, and that's what I did. So a little bit of mindset stuff here, man. Again, this is a journey for me to go from 0 to 100K, but I also want to share this journey with you guys because I know there's so many people out there that are tired of the gurus claiming all these crazy outcomes and potentials. Then you join their course or discords and you don't learn anything. So I truly want to give as much value as possible in this journey. And I know it's not going to be easy. I know I'm going to trip up and fall a couple times, but ultimately speaking, if I can help even one person just get farther along in their journey, then I did it. You know, I find that to be very successful because I went through, I'm in currently a lot of communities and discords right now, and it's just a cesspool of nonsense, right? It's just a lot of fluff and information that no one is actually using to get any farther in their journey, right? I know this because I'm in a lot of these communities, and it's not really helpful information. I mean, it's a lot of times outdated, it's old. I went through so much course material in some of these guys' courses, these big gurus that you know. And dude, it's like, this is stuff that's outdated. The softwares that we're using now have been updated since then. And it's like, you know, you can tell that there's not really much care put into these educational services and softwares and tools for these people to learn. So the game of dropshipping is a very scammy and sketchy world, but if you know the right people in the right communities and you really push through and go through all the hardships and come out on the other side, you'll be successful. So I'm getting ready to launch here pretty soon, but before I do that, I'm going to show you everything that I've learned over the last couple of days. I have an entire checklist of things that I've been trying to mark and know, because I know a lot of people have questions about this stuff, and I'm farther along my journey in the last couple of days, and I've seen people who've been in this dropshipping game for months. They're still struggling to select a product, they're still struggling to source, they're still struggling to build a website, and I feel like I've put together that all in 2 days. So I'll see you guys at my computer screen, but can we just take a moment to appreciate this amazing view here? This is beautiful. That's why I love living in Florida. It's such a beautiful scenery. I'm here in Tampa, South Tampa here, at some new developments that I'm going to be living pretty close to here in a couple of months. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to my computer screen and break down some stuff. All right, so there's a couple things I want to break down. This is the checklist that I've been working on. If you didn't watch a previous video, go watch that and come back to this to understand where I am with the journey. Just want to remind you guys, the ultimate goal, I have 2 simple goals with this challenge. I want to build a 6-figure month dropshipping store with 25-35% profit margins. And I also want to cultivate an online community of hungry entrepreneurs who also want to start their journey and learn together. So please understand that although I'm trying to do this, I want to do it with a group of people. So if you're starting dropshipping, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're experienced, maybe you're young, maybe you're old, maybe you're a guy, you're a girl, I don't really care. Shoot me a message, let me know how your journey's going. I'd love to connect, and over time build a community and just get more people together as we do this journey, because we all want to make money, we all want to be successful, we all want to help others and impact other people around the world. So that's kind of the goal there. All right, so anyway, Last time I spoke to you guys, we did a lot of product market research. I have this list of issues here that I'm going to break down that I went through, but I want to revisit a couple of these steps here. So branding, figuring out market trends and knowing how to create an evergreen brand that has emotional connection to its audience. I feel like I have an understanding of that, but I still have to work on that. And all this other stuff, I'm basically going to break down where I'm at with this document here. So this is a list of issues that I faced in the last 48 hours. The first one is the biggest one, and that's kind of going to steer the rest of this challenge as we go. Product delays. So I have a more passionate product I want to build my main store around. I feel like I found the one that I'm going to build into a branded dropshipping store. Here's the issue. Because of the Chinese New Year, the supplier can't make a sample request until the 20th of February, which is 3 effing weeks from now, right? Today is January 25th, 2025. Why is that a problem? Well, it all depends on how you look at it, right? Because technically speaking, it's not realistically a problem, but I'm an eager guy. I want to get things moving quickly, right? I don't like kind of sitting around waiting on my hands. I want to move quickly. And I feel like I found a really good product. It took me some time to figure out how to source a product. Apparently, AliExpress isn't the only website you can source products from. There's Alibaba. There's this website called 1688. CJ Dropshipping is another one. There's a whole bunch of dropshipping sites that you can use to find the source product and then reach out to that agent, contact them, get an understanding, a briefing of different things and like stuff that you want to know about the product. Like, do they allow dropshipping? Do they only do wholesale? Do they have a minimum order quantity? What's their shipping times, right? Like, how quickly is it to ship? Now, you might be saying, what about like an automated tool like AutoDS? I'll get to that in a moment, but this is where the first problem that I faced over the last couple of days. So what does that mean, right? Okay, what are you going to do? Just wait for the next 3 weeks? If you know me, you know I don't like sitting around waiting. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try the test and flip model as I wait for those 3 weeks to pass. By the way, I'm just realizing covering that a little bit. I'm going to try the test and flip model. And the ultimate goal, to remind you guys, for me, is to build a 6-figure a month branded dropshipping store. I can't do that with the model, at least I don't think, with this model. So in the meantime, I just want to get some skin in the game. I want to test some things, get familiar with the process of dropshipping. In a moment, I'm going to show you guys like this little analogy graph that I put together. Really bad drawing, but it'll make sense when I explain it. But while I wait to get a sample request, because I want to get a sample request, make sure the quality of the product is actually good, then build my store, brand, name, and image and likeness all around that, and then start getting ready to sell that. But until then, I'm going to use a test and flip model, which will allow me to get a store up and test a product like this, like within 24 hours, right? So that's what I'm going to do until then, because I haven't made a single sale with dropshipping. I understand the basics of it, but I want to go through a full cycle of selecting a product, getting a distributor, building a website, and selling the product, whether it's through organic or through paid ads, and know what it's like to fulfill that product. I want to go through that entire cycle a couple of times to get my feet wet. So the test and flip model sourcing is the second problem I ran into. I found the solution to this, which I think is a short-term solution. But the next problem that I face is that this process wasn't hard, right? So I'm talking about finding a product to test and flip quickly. This process wasn't hard, and most dropshippers, beginner dropshippers, this is what they do, right? They go on AliExpress, go find a quick product that's trending, and then they'll try to recreate that, right? So it's nothing too crazy. So what I did was I used the burner method that I mentioned in the last video, and honestly, I feel solid about the 2 products I selected. So I found 2 products I'm going to test and flip. And honestly, if I test the first product and it's doing really good, I don't even need to test the second one. But I just have 2 handy because I'll explain why in a moment. We're only going to test one at a time. And I overnighted the product on Amazon so I can get it, start making some content, film with it, and get some ads going. Okay. Website building. The website building process wasn't too hard, but I stumbled across a couple of issues. The biggest issue was the template I downloaded not showing my product. So like I've mentioned a couple times, I've joined a ton of free courses and communities, and one of them I joined gives you a themed dropshipping store called Debutify. Now, for some reason, when I initially installed the Debutify theme onto my store and started to build up my website, everything was going good. The product was loading up fine and everything was good. I was at the final stage where I was trying to import reviews onto the page. And then for some reason, there was this big gap on the page, in the middle of the page, where my product was supposed to be. I tried refreshing it. I thought maybe the softwares that I was using, the review apps that I installed to my Shopify store was causing the issue to bug out. So I removed them and the product was still not loading. Remind you, and it's just to remind you, it was just fine just literally a moment ago. Like I spent maybe an hour and a half building out the store because I had to go through, watch some tutorials and what to change, how to create a privacy policy, service of in terms of services, all that stuff. I was kind of going through. I have 2 monitors right now. So I was building my store on one monitor and watching the videos on the other. About an hour and a half has elapsed, and literally on the very last moment of finalizing it, boom, it's just not showing. I refreshed, I did everything I could, and I even hit up support and the Shopify support, and they're like, yeah, we sometimes think it's a cache issue, so we'll clear your cache and refresh it and see what happens. And 24 hours later, still nothing. So these are the little things. I'll pause real quick, time out, right? Pause real quick and talk about the journey of business life and specifically dropshipping, right? There's going to be a lot of these little annoying knick-knack kind of inconveniences that stop most people. Most people would quit. They would find that as an excuse to quit because they spent all of this time building out a store, and then at the last moment, some unforeseen issue that they weren't predicting happens. And what did I do? I'll tell you one thing I didn't do. I didn't give up, obviously, which most people would. I just pivoted, right? Like that's the biggest thing is I just pivoted to a different solution. And that solution was I just switched the theme to Shrine, right? I had already bought the Shrine theme, but I was watching a tutorial and the tutorial broke down how to build the website really easy. I didn't know how to really use the Shrine theme, even though I bought it. I didn't know how to like set it up and actually put together on the website. So I switched the theme to Shrine and the product was loading totally fine. I edited the entire website. I just figured out, used common sense in a couple YouTube videos to figure out how to navigate the Shrine theme. And I polished up the website, add the reviews, and it's working. It's still working right now. So that's just a little bit of advice, man. Like you're going to go through some issues. A lot of the YouTube videos you see and course materials you see from a lot of these guys are outdated. Just know that going into it. And something you're just going to have to figure out as you go. All right, number 4 is AutoDS. So AutoDS is the software that I'm going to use to do this test and flip strategy where AutoDS will automatically source products for me from AliExpress. And then once I connect the product to my website, they will fulfill for me rather than me typing in the customer's email and address and everything. AutoDS will take care of all that for me. I heard some people use another tool called DSers. For those of you that are experienced and have some game, I was going through a comment section of some other guru's YouTube video. I heard a lot of people say, hey, AutoDS isn't as good as DSers. DSers is way better. DSERS. So for those of you that are experienced, let me know if you have any experience with DSers. And I think I'm saying that right. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I think it's literally DSers. Yeah. So this is the tool everyone uses. I'm using AutoDS. So I would love to hear any experienced dropshippers. What's the difference between one and the other? Which one's better? I'm sure I could probably look up a video on it. But a lot of people I saw in this particular comment section said this was better. But as it currently stands, I'm using AutoDS. So I had an issue with price changing on my website. So I would set a certain price, right? I found the product that I'm going to test and flip. I built out the website. The product is on my website for a specific price. It's at $85, right? So I would set the certain price and then I'd go back on the website 30 minutes later and it would be a completely different price. I'm like, what the heck? It's like $139. I'm like, I don't remember saving it like that. So let me change it back again. So then I'll go through and I'm getting ready to do some other things and I'll go back on the website again just to test it and look at it because I think I was trying to connect my Pixel, which I'll get to in a moment. And I kept noticing the price was changing. So I'm like, what's going on? This is pissing me off. So I hit up Shopify support, and I figured out that it turns out that once you source a product through AutoDS, they have this 48-hour policy where they'll take about up to 48 hours to source the product for you. And when they do that, they will change the price. They'll change the price temporarily until they officially find the sourcer. And then you can go in and change the pricing on AutoDS. You can't change the price on Shopify because AutoDS will have override control and they will change the price there. Hopefully that's making sense. Here's a picture that I took actually. So this is a picture I took right here, right? So I kept trying to change the price on Shopify, but I didn't realize that this AutoDS was automatically connected. And I still am in the process of waiting for AutoDS to source my product, which is another thing we'll talk about. But After hitting up support, they let me know, don't worry, you'll be able to change the price on AutoDS, and then it will stay the same price. So yeah, just another problem solving thing, right? Like I just hit up support and they were able to answer that for me. And they have live chat, which is really cool. All right, so the next little annoying thing I went through was connecting TikTok ads to Shopify. So I have an old ads account that has like 30K ad spend. So I used to run an agency back in the day, and I spent like 30K on ads over the span of a few months. So it was a very seasoned ad account. I've had it for years now. And then I go to log into that ad account because I've shut down that agency months ago, over half a year ago, actually. Probably even longer, probably over a year now. And I haven't logged into that account in recent memory. So I go into it and I get a notification, ad account permanently suspended. I'm like, of course, bro. Of course. By the way, this is all within the span of a day, right? Like, I think it's been 48 hours since my last video. I think right after that video, I did some product market research. I was scrolling through TikTok, kind of trying to get some stuff going. And then that following day, which was yesterday, the 24th, is when I dealt with all this in one day. So I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, bro. It's just one thing after the next. And at this point, it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's getting pretty late. So I was pretty upset about that because this is a seasoned ad account. I've been running ads successfully for some time. I had a few like warnings and strikes throughout my tenure running ads on that account, but I never got permanently banned. But I don't know what happened. I just woke up and tried to log in later that night and it was banned. So I submitted an appeal. I got an appeal within 24 hours and they let me know this morning, that they cannot appeal. They can't approve my appeal. My account is going to remain suspended. So, no big deal, right? So that night before, when I figured out my ad account was banned, I just created a new one. And it turns out TikTok has TikTok Ads Manager has like a policy or something like that, or like a coupon promotional code. If you spend $100, you get $100 back in ad credit, something like that. Not too worried about that, but I looked at that as the plus side to all this nonsense. But I created a new account in a couple of minutes. But then there was another issue, right? So now I'm trying to connect Shopify Pixel to my ad account and everything. And I noticed the conversion event complete payment was not showing up. I have a picture of that. Let me show you guys that picture real quick. It was just not showing up, right? Because if you know anything about running ads, you need the conversion event to show up for complete payment, right? I want to optimize for complete payment. I don't want to optimize for add to cart. So this is how it started off. So I'm like, all right, bro, what the heck's going on? So I go through, I do some test events, and I tested all the events, and everything was looking fine. Like I have the pixel right here, this little tool here at the top, TikTok Pixel Helper. I went on my website and I went through each stage. I visited the website, this lit up. I added a product to cart, this lit up, right? It said add to cart. I went to checkout. And it says attempted checkout, whatever it is. And then the last thing I did was put my credit card information in and bought my product. And at the end of it, it says complete payment. So it was registering on TikTok Pixel Helper, but for some reason in the ads manager, it just wasn't registering. After doing that, I actually got access to add cart and view content. So I'm like, okay, not the end of the world. Maybe I just have to wait a little bit. But I was really annoyed because I'm like, I want it as soon as I get sourcing approved and I get a sourcer for my product, I want to launch the ads like this. And I didn't want to keep waiting. I didn't want this to be an issue. And I didn't want to optimize for add to cart because just because someone adds to cart, that doesn't mean they're going to buy. So I didn't want to waste any testing money on the wrong optimization event. But this morning, actually not even this morning, I woke up this morning, it was still like this. Later in the afternoon though, it appeared finally. So that's good. So now I have all my ad creatives and everything locked up and loaded to go. I can optimize for complete payment, which is what I want to do. The only thing left in this process before launching the ads, I have my product and everything, is I just need AutoDS to source the product. Now, I did find the product on AliExpress. I already found the product on AliExpress. It's a little bit pricier than I would want, so I'm hoping AutoDS can source it at a good price and have good delivery. I want it to hopefully be within 7 days. 2 weeks is kind of pushing it for me. So, because especially since the product is on Amazon Prime. So I would prefer, people will pay an extra $30 to get the product in a day or two versus saving $20 and getting it 2 weeks later. 7 days they can deal with that, but like 2 weeks, that's like you might as well just get it on Amazon at that point. Because people trust Amazon a lot of times too. So I'm really hoping I can get it for a little bit cheaper than I saw it on AliExpress, because the competitor I saw. So I'm gonna break this down in a moment here. So the price of the product that I'm selling it for is $85. And I believe on AliExpress it's like 53. Not the best margins, right? Ideally, I normally would want to charge twice that amount, right? And on Amazon, it actually is right around 109. That's the price on Amazon. The issue here is I'm seeing a competitor that's doing really well charging $82. So I don't know what I'm going to do with pricing. My hope is that AutoDS will be able to find a supplier, because I didn't look too hard in the sourcing. I kind of just found the product on AliExpress and I was like, all right, cool. Let me just throw it in AutoDS and hopefully they can find a cheap supplier. My hope is that they can find it for me for like no more than $45 with 7-day shipping. If I don't find those numbers, then it's going to be really tight margins, because I'm running ads. If this was only organic, and I think that's what I might end up doing, right? So if I can't find it any better than this, I'm gonna be forced to run it as organic, because I don't want to deal with dog shit margins, right? Like I don't want my margins to be that bad, right? If I'm charging, and also I'm really hoping this is including shipping. Well, this is including shipping. I'm hoping when they source it on AliExpress, they can get this all, the product price and the shipping price all for $45, which I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to charge it for $85. And then hopefully, right now as it currently stands, sourcing it right now, because it's free shipping on AliExpress for $53, I can make $32 profit per sale. And then you got to throw in your processing fees, AliExpress processing fees. So realistically, I'm going to walk it down to 25 if I do organic marketing. Now, if I run ads, ideally, I would want a cost per, and this is, again, all my information I've learned from free courses. I haven't even sold anything yet. So I'm just going off of the numbers that has been presented to me for free courses. If I'm going to run ads, I want the cost per acquisition or cost per sale to be half of this profit, right? Which would be like $15. So, or $16. So I would have to run ads and hopefully get, if all stays the same and AutoDS sources the same product I saw on AliExpress for $53, the same exact product for this price. If I'm going to run ads, I have to hopefully spend $16 to acquire a sale of an $85 product. For those experienced dropshippers out there, let me know if that logistically makes sense, or is that even feasible with TikTok ads. That's what I'm going to test and do. If I don't get it profitable, I'm going to run some organic for a little bit of time and give it a couple of weeks of organic. If I'm not seeing good numbers, then I'll push over to just the next product. So that's the one thing, right? Because obviously, if I'm charging $85, ideally I would want it for half that, right? I'd ideally want to source the product for half that, which I didn't look too hard into it, but from what I saw, most of them were around $50-ish. So it makes me really curious as to how well, to be fair, my competitor that I saw is marketing the product only organically. I checked their pixel. I use the TikTok and Metapixel on their website. They don't have any ads connected to it. So they're only doing organic. So if you're only doing organic, the product is really profitable, $30 with about 7-day shipping time, which is pretty good. So that's kind of my plan there. I can't show the product to you guys yet. If I do really well with it, I'm probably not going to show the product, but I'll share with you what worked. And if the product flops, then I'll show you the website and everything before I move on to the next product. But yeah, that's essentially everything I did. I said it didn't last 48 hours, but realistically, this all happened yesterday, last 24 hours. So additional notes. I found a cool tool for importing product reviews from both AliExpress and Amazon. LIA, it's like $6, $6.99 or $7 a month. So I added that in. This is really important because like I mentioned, the product that I'm going to test here is also on Amazon. So Amazon has a lot of pictures and reviews. So I wanted to fill up my website with picture reviews, which Amazon had more of those than AliExpress. So I took a couple of the best AliExpress reviews, but most of my reviews came directly from Amazon. This first product, profit margins were really simple. So I already broke this down, did all the math here on this really bad diagram, but already broke this down. For ads, I'm going to run an open targeted CBO campaign with 4 video ad creatives and test $85, right? So I'm selling product for $85. I'm going to test exactly $85 and see if I can get a product sale in that spend. If I don't get one and it's not profitable, I'm just going to snipe the store and move on to the next product. Or I'll snipe the store, move on to the next product, but in the background, I'll test a little bit of organic with it to see if I can get it. Because this product is literally like, it's going absolutely viral right now for my competitor. So it's selling. I don't know how the sales look on their website. I'm not using ShopHunter.io to track their sales or anything like that, and maybe I should. But I see the comment section of all the recent viral videos and everyone's commenting, how do I get one? How do I get one? How do I get one? And right now I'm fully aware, like this strategy probably might not be the best to get to 100K a month right now in the short term. And that's okay. Like I'm using this as a short-term kind of quick win opportunity just to get some skin in the game and get a feel for this opportunity of dropshipping. And then something I want to do as well is come up with a one name fits all store domain and use that for the test and flip strategy. I don't want to keep buying new domains and emails every time I want to test a new store. So that's another important thing. The product name and the store name and brand name that I have for this product is very niche specific to the product. So now if I want to snipe this down and rebuild a new store and relaunch a new product, I'm going to have to buy another new domain and create a new email. I don't want to keep doing that. So I'm going to come up with like an evergreen, like one name fits all store. So regardless of what niche I'm in, the name fits all products because the name doesn't matter too much if it's just like a random made up name. So I'm going to try to do that next time around. We'll see. I'm going to give this a test run and maybe it'll be really profitable. I don't have to worry about that. And maybe this could be profitable until it's time for me to launch my main personal brand store that I want to really launch. But that's just a small note that I'm noticing that I should probably do because I'm not trying to create a bunch of different Shopify accounts and new domains and all that stuff. So yeah, so this little image here was just a really quick last thing I want to end off. This is the phase. This PH stand or this P1, P2, P3 stands for phases of dropshipping. And this is how I understand. As someone that's very new to the game, but just been watching a ton of course material and learning from some top dropshippers in the communities. This is ranked from hardest to easiest in the journey. The beginning stage here, right? Maybe I should add a percentage, right, or something like that. But the beginning stages here, 75% of people will fail. And this is the beginning stages, right? This is like doing product market research. So that's product market research. This is like store building. So do SBs for store building. You know, this is all the like the little nuances, getting like a domain, all the little nuances, right? Like the little small things, you know, connecting a payment processor, all the things when it comes to, you know, understanding sourcing, all the things when it comes to beginning and starting a store. This is the bulk of the journey, and this is where most of the difficulty is. I would then say this yellow spot here, the phase 2, is understanding marketing and getting really good at it. Right, as you can see, it's less big, it's not as problematic. And then the end goal here, phase 3, is like when you're profitable, you're really scalable, you know the ins and outs of dropshipping. Most people fail here, and this is my understanding, what I've learned. Most people fail here with just a small little nuances because of how like challenging it is. And again, I feel like a lot of course material and programs out there, there's some gurus out there that are really, really good in education. Like Jordan Bowen is somebody I've watched a lot of his free material on. And he's providing true genuine value. But there's a lot of other like younger dropshippers out there that made a bag and now is trying to expand their income, and they're making a lot of this course material in these Discord communities, but there's not really a lot of substance in them. And I understand, I feel like that's why most people fail, because they're sold on the hype and the potential of dropshipping, but not a lot of the fundamental skills needed to be successful in business in general. And I feel like I'm really going to be successful with this because I've ran so many successful businesses. I've done so many different side hustles and had a lot of success just making money online, not because of an innate skill or ability that I have that you don't. It's just my willpower and my critical thinking skills and problem solving skills that have allowed me to just, hey, I don't have a clear answer to this problem, but I can try to figure it out. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle, right? I've seen some people in some communities say, hey, like, I'm struggling with my domain. Like, how do I buy a domain off of GoDaddy, and how do I connect it? Or I tried adding a pixel to my landing page. It's not working. What's going on? It's like, these are like the small things that are very important, but like, if you can't even figure that out, yeah, there's a reason why most people don't even get to phase 3, let alone 2. So that's a little quick illustration there for you. But that being said, guys, this is what's going to happen within the next couple of days. I should finally get feedback on AutoDS on the product that I'm sourcing. Let me just check right now, actually. So as you can see here in AutoDS, they're still sourcing. The status is still sourcing. I created this yesterday, the 24th. Today is the 25th, and I'm still waiting. So I believe AutoDS has a 48-hour policy that they will source for you within 48 hours. And I actually talked to one of the reps today, confirming that is that business days, so only Monday through Friday, or is that 7 days a week? And he said 7 days a week. So this is what's going to happen. In a couple of days, I'll update you guys, and I'll make another video showing you my results from the first test campaign. Hopefully by then this product will be sourced. Once it's sourced and connected to my store and everything, I'll be able to launch the ads, do some organic, and try to get some sales as quickly as possible. That's what I plan on hopefully showing you guys in the next couple of days. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and wish me luck on this journey. And again, if you're also starting out your journey, or maybe you have some skin in the game and you want to connect, reach out to me on Instagram or leave a comment on this video, and I'll be sure to reach out and connect with you. All right, so with that being said, see you guys in the next one. Take care.